And now we're going to have a pleasure. I hope to have Dr. Lan-Phuong finally, because today we lost her once, and now we don't want it to happen again. She is a PhD. She's a co-founder of Renaissance Urbaine Consultancy. It's an agency on urban innovation and sustainability. She's an entrepreneur, academic, and she visited Tomsk a year ago, and that was when we met first, and we invited her to participate in our conference, and she agreed. And when we sent her invitation this year, it was nice to hear that yes, she wanted to participate, she wanted to contribute, and the topic of her report sounds wonderful. Sounds like that. East Tomsk and National Research Tomsk State University and New Athens in Siberia. This is not Dr. Phan, we know. We saw her. Hello, hello. We cannot hear you, unfortunately. Could you turn on the microphone? Left top corner.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you, yes, yes.
So we had to reschedule the conference, so unfortunately she had to attend another meeting, so I will do the presentation because we have been preparing that together. It is no inconvenience for you.
Just a moment. Here's your presentation.
Perfect. So shall we start?
Yes, we shall start. Yes, we shall start. We are listening to you very attentively, and we are happy to have you with us.
We have researched on the topic of digital nomadism, on the topic of global trend, on the topic of Siberian trend, and our work. We have tried to understand in which regard Tomsk and Tomsk State University could play a specific role in learning how to deal with the global trend of digital nomadism. Okay. So as you can see on this picture, which is a photo we made in Tokyo a few months ago, now we are with digital natives. Okay. It's not like us, the old generations, the new generations, they are digital natives, and this has got a lot of consequences on understanding how to use public space and etc. So let me move forward with these two datas. As you can see, on this side, on the left side, you've got the evolution of the world urban population. And you can see that now in 2015, there are approximately 4 billion urban dwellers in the world. In between, I hope you can see. If you can't see, just tell me. Between 2006 and 2015, there has been approximately 1 billion more urban citizens in the world. Okay. Between 2006 and 2015, you can see on the graph on the right, right side, sorry, the measure of the internet traffic has been multiplied by 45 in 10 years. And so we believe this issue of digital nomadism is made of two things: physical, demographic, digital on the other side. And you can see that we are in a completely changing context. Okay, it is not just digital nomadism as a luxury. We are dealing with completely changing patterns on city development on the one side and on internet development on the other side. Digital nomadism, and this will be the next, is at the meeting place of those two issues. So, in a way, the way we used to look at the future belongs completely on those different illustrations and photos from history, recent history and present, that we have been used to look at urban future as a whole, as an integrated, like through global understanding of cities, etc. We believe it will be very different. And you can see here on the right, the entrance of the Architecture Biennale in Rotterdam. This is a photo that we made 2 weeks ago. It looks more, the future is more like this, a question about what is next, and a very unspectacular environment. But we also need to understand that everything that can be digital will be digital. So the way we are looking to the city, the way we are looking to learning systems is completely changing, but we don't know really where we are going. So first proposal for the future, since we are also dealing with Siberia, these illustrations, which we like very much, because here you can see he's a digital nomad with the t-shirt, he's a Siberian. You can see he's a nomad, he has a suitcase, he can travel. But you can also see that with those kind of illustrations, mixing Alexander Park in Moscow with the capital in the United States, there is one tendency to see we are in a digital society. We can travel from point A to point B all the time, wherever, whenever. But the reality is a little bit different. Let me show. This is this could be the future, but this is more what the present looks like about digital nomadism. That is using digital technologies that can be located in a container, for example, with community chat, with cell phone. And this photo we made in the city of Johannesburg in South Africa in already 8 years ago. And the development of Africa and African cities rely a lot on mobile phones and mobile devices. And you can see the guy here using a telephone. The question is, it's more about a digital society than just here, digital nomad. This is the perfect illustration of ubiquitous society. This is more the illustration of how the society is integrated digital technologies and that those technologies are part of the global urban landscape. Now, in another context, this photo was made 2 years ago, and you can see it is a major economy. It was a meeting in Paris, and there is another kind of digital nomadism, as, for example, the interface between human intelligence and artificial intelligence and robots. Maybe you know this guy from the US, McAfee. He has worked a lot about cyber security, and we have found this quotation from him, which we liked preparing for the session, connecting the issue of development of digital technologies and how they add to human brain power, okay? How they also allow us to overcome many limitations. And here, illustration of this, no limit to imagination and no limit to exploitation of space. The reality is that we don't know exactly where we are going. The speed of change is extremely quick, as we saw with the graph. And there are always new disruptive innovations coming in. So digital nomadism is about trying to move towards one concept to another, one place to another, okay? And here comes the question for us, which is a key question of education and higher education. In the very near future, all students in universities, including TSU, will be complete digital natives, okay? So the questions about that are about scientific, academic, economic, and urban added value, not just digital nomadism alone, but about the consequence on life in general. And the question is also about how to move from a digital world to a world where we reinforce human and social capital. You can see here is a photo that was made in the city of Delft in the Netherlands 10 days ago. You can see it was a world with a wall, sorry, with graffitis and stickers. We were very surprised that one of these stickers was about education. It's like youngsters or hippie people who are talking about hard rock, about sports, about whatever, but they care about education. So our assumption is that in the time of digital nomadism, there is also a lot of anxiety in the society and also in the young generation, and that the key question is how do we empower people and how do we create learning centers to make sure that digital nomadism corresponds to create more human and social capital. We believe that digital nomadism is digital, but is also moving in territories. And you can see these are illustrations of books, very recent books that were displayed in this Architecture Biennale in Rotterdam. We are talking about territories in crisis. We are talking about cities in transition. We are talking about Europe in transition. We are talking also about participation. So what we would like to share with you is this idea of digital nomadism as a synonymous for change making, okay? But this is more a question than solutions. So how can we move towards better understanding of this question and the solutions? The system, okay? You can see the two small characters here. There would be digital nomads, okay, facing the existing system. And the question they are asking is, so shall we love the system? Shall we leave the system? Or shall we transform? Shall we tweak the system so that the system adapts to the changing conditions of city life and learning and education and connectivity between people? This is all about digital nomadism and the next economy, and digital nomadism and transformation of existing legal and institutional frameworks. Nothing is easy. So we are moving towards those two here, these digital nomads facing the existing systems, to the digital nomads trying to reconnect the system with a changing context. We would like to tell you that digital nomads can be change makers, right? Here, they try to reconnect with the overall system, but digital nomads also are living in a kind of archipelago. Each digital nomads try to change the world by itself. This is stupid, okay? The quick question is how do those digital nomads all together and connected the one with the others can reconfigure the whole system, right? Because the whole system, that is the urban framework, the urban economy, the whole environment has been created in a world that was not digital, but who is becoming digital more and more, and who is becoming digital more and more quickly. So this is exactly the kind of interaction that digital nomadism, we believe, is about. So now, it's important to understand what kind of places is digital nomadism creating, or what kind of places look like in the digital economy. It is not very much the futuristic approach that we showed before. It would be more this kind of thing: temporary installations, uncertain urban environment with digital workshops looking like this, with interrogations about what is really a smart city and what is the dark side of the smart cities. Digital nomads, they can feel isolated they need first to find people to connect with. This was that, okay? But they also need to find places where they can meet, where they can convene, where they can learn. And this is more something like this than completely finalized projects. So digital nomadism needs to also rely on functional experimental space. This is a very complex question, not only for cities, but also for universities, and especially in Tomsk, with the University of Tomsk and its strong history about discussing the future of the campus. How can the campus can be a functional and experimental place for digital nomads to get together and try to understand how to build the future of education and the future of urban systems. So we would like to share with you this idea of a digital nomadism matrix, okay, with very simple place, time, and system change. Place would be citizen scale, city scale, global scale. Time would be now between the previous generation, the next generation, and system would be about urban system, placemaking, network connection, innovation, governance, partnerships. And digital nomads here, all together on this small motorbike, are in fact connecting all those kind of different issues. And through connecting these different issues, they are bringing a collective ability to drive the change at system level. If it is just here moving in networks or creating digital places, it is useless. If it is just about innovation, it is useless. If it is just about partnerships, it is useless. And if it is just about one connection or this connection between urban system and peacemaking or urban system and innovation, this is not sufficient. So we are talking about digital nomadism as a collective and individual ability to understand system change and build system change, okay? This is very critical because this has to move quickly and address the needs of the future digital natives and in the future, but also in the very near future, okay? And then digital nomads at citizen scale will have to think at city scale and will have to understand how they can play together at global scale. The digital nomads, not only the big companies like Apple or Google. So we say that digital nomads need to get together in urban system, they are catalysts for innovation, but they need place to meet, okay? So what kind of place? In 2013, when we worked on the concept of modernization of TSU campus, we brought this idea of the university as being the new village marketplace, right? The new place where people will go out of their house and come together, or will come in the city, all the digital nomads, they will come here in the marketplace to meet and greet together in using all the digital networks as with our conversation today, but also try to find places to meet physically. A good campus must be a learning and dissemination center of learning in time of digital nomadism. You can see here was a vision of transformation of one building behind the main building of TSU campus. And it was all about this, how a good campus can play the host for digital nomadism champions and change makers. Now you would say a good campus is a place with nice buildings, with professors and students. This has to change, and the vision in the near future is more about hosting the digital nomads than and hosting change makers than classical learning systems. Okay, it would be more about skills and more about a co-production of learning and co-working together. So digital nomadism at the end needs new design, new functionality of buildings, new architecture. And the title of our presentation was A New Athens in Siberia. That is the concept of a place for free spirits to cooperate together and make the discoveries for the new century. It's about good place, good marketplace, good campus, good design. This is our approach to New Athens. And we wanted to conclude this short presentation with the illustration of here on the right side, the proposal for a new pavilion for innovation in the campus, right next to the main building. It's only a concept that we have tried to work both on the architecture, on the value, on the design, on the functionality of such a building, which could be a manifesto for Tomsk and Tomsk State University to really be a host of Siberian and global significance to global nomadism. And we are very grateful and interested in the work that you are carrying out in the Department of Psychology and Social Communications, because sociology and social communications can really be the cornerstone, the basis for turning digital nomadism into this good marketplace, good campus, good design. And Tomsk really could play a role at the global scale about that.
Thank you very much. I didn't have a chance to, thank you. I didn't have a chance to introduce you, Nicolas Buchoud today.
He is with us. He's also an urbanist and he is the founder of Renaissance Urbaine Agency Consultancy. Thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. And Nicola also visited our university, so he also knows very well what he's talking about. It's nice to know that we have a chance to make changes if we want, if we have these opportunities, and it's nice to know that we may become such place for people whom we call digital nomads, and we may be interesting for them in the future and in the university. Thank you very much. If we have questions, we will answer them later, because unfortunately now we do not have more time, as we had some problems with the connection in the beginning. Again, we appreciate very much your contribution, and big hello also, and thanks to Dr. Phan.
Dr. Phan.
Yes, I will. She really regretted not to be able to be there, and she was also a woman, so I am sorry not to be a man and to be there instead of Dr. Phan. But we really worked hard on preparing this presentation for you to share with you this morning. And if anybody in the room or in the conversation has questions, you've got our email address, so please they can send us an email. It's absolutely no problem.
Thank you very much. Again, we appreciate you could find time, and you have very nice background out there. We envy you because we have this, you know.
But I am a digital nomad. I went out of the office because the internet connection is better. It's internet connection with my telephone, and I am in the garden in front of my office. So we are already digital nomads together.
Wonderful. Bye. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.